Today we're going to go over dependent events, which is topic 7D, and our objective today is to calculate the probability of dependent events. Dependent events are when the outcome of one event affects the outcome of the other. So the outcome of one event does affect other outcomes. How do I find the probability of dependent events? First, you find the probability of the first event. Next, you find the probability of the second event, and that involves subtracting 1 from the total possible outcomes of the first event. Remember, this is like when someone has a bag of 5 marbles, and the first event is taking 1 marble out. Since they don't replace the marble, when the second event, taking the next marble out, comes around, there will only be 4 marbles left in the bag. So 5 minus 1 gives you the total outcomes 4. Number 3, once you have both fractions, you multiply the 2 fractions together and check if you can cross cancel. When you get your answer, you need to simplify. And finally, you need to change the fraction to a percent. If you need more time, pause, as I'm going to go ahead and move on to example 1. Example 1, let's start with the question part of this. What is the probability that you will hit another red balloon after you throw a dart and hit the first red balloon? So you have probability of 2 red. I would have written it probability red, comma, red. So we want the probability of hitting a red balloon. Remember, that this is going to be our sample set right here. So on the first event, we have 1, 2, 3 red balloons out of 6 balloons total. Once we throw a dart and hit one of the red balloons, we have 2 red balloons out of 5 balloons total. Next step, check for cross canceling. You can cross cancel the 2 and the 6. 3 times 1 gives you 3. 3 times 5 gives you 15. Simplify, dividing by 3, you get 1 out of 5. And then the last step is 1 divided by 5, 0.2. Move the decimal 2 places, fill in with a 0, and you get 20% probability. So step 1 was to find the first probability. Step 2, find the second probability, remembering that the total outcomes will be 1 less than the first. Step 3, multiply the fractions using cross cancel. 4 is simplify, and 5 is changing the fraction to a percent. Let's go on to number 2. What is the probability of picking a red pencil from the box, not putting it back, then picking a yellow pencil from the box? So let's look at the probability of red, then yellow. And we're using this drawing right here. So the probability of picking red is 1, 2, 3 out of 6. So we're going to multiply that by the probability of picking yellow being 1 out of 5, because the red pencil is no longer there, so there's only 5 pencils. We checked for cross canceling. 3 and 5 have nothing in common, 6 and 1 have nothing in common, so we go ahead and multiply. 3 times 1 is 3, 6 times 5 is 30. We simplify by dividing by 3. And we get 1 in 10. Last step, change 1/10 into a percentage. 1 divided by 10 is 0. Put in our decimals. 10 goes into 10 one time. Move the decimal 2 places to the right, and we equal out at 10%. So again, first step is the first probability. Second step is the second probability, or probability of second event. Keeping in mind that there's 1 less in the total outcomes. Cross-canceling and multiplying is third. Simplifying is fourth. And changing to a percentage is last. Last example on this page. What is the probability of picking a blue gummy bear from the bag, not putting it back, then picking a yellow gummy bear the second time around? So we have the probability of blue, then yellow, and we're going to use this sample set. Well, the probability of blue is 1, 2 out of 8 total, times the probability of yellow, which is 1 out of 8 total. Once we have the 2 probabilities, we cross cancel. 2 and 8 are both divisible by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 2. Go ahead and multiply. 1 times 1 is 1. 8 times 2 is 16. And that's in simplest form, so we go ahead and just change to 8%. 1 divided by 16 goes in 0 times. We add our decimal and a 0. 16 goes into 10, 0 times. We add another 0. 16 goes into 100. maybe 5 times, maybe 6. Let's try 5. 16 times 5, 30, 80. Okay, well, we could go in at least 6 times then. 6 times would be 16 more. So 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 1 plus 3 is 9. Subtract 96, we get 4. We need to add another 0 so we can see what is behind the 6. Bring the 0 down. 16 goes into 40 twice. That's 32. At this point, we're going to stop 0.6, I'm sorry, 0.062. When we move the decimal point, it's going to go 2 places. We're going to use this 2 to decide whether we round up or down. So we're going to end up with 6% because 2 is less than 5, so we round down to just the 6. At this time, if you need more time, please pause because I'm going to go ahead and stop the video.